It's been 4.5 months since my wife and I moved to Israel. Over that time, I've celebrated a birthday and qualified for Medicare. I've also been back to the United States twice. The first to visit my father in the hospital, the second to attend his funeral. Since we buried him, according to tradition, Dad's soul has found its way to heaven. Hopefully Mom, who left us 3 years ago, will show him the ropes. Having immigrated, been officially labeled old, and lost a parent, all in the year just passing, I consider 2019 one of the most exciting, challenging, and painful periods of my life. And so this day begins. I'm not one to pray every day, but I am conscientious about my exercise. My doctor advised me to give up long-distance running for the sake of my arthritic knees, so now I focus on high-intensity, low-impact routines. If you watched episodes 5, 7, 10, and 12 of this web series, then you know that I like to change things up to keep it fresh, and that back in Wisconsin, I had a workout buddy. Haven't found one here yet. Today, I'm in our building's atrium. Hardly anyone ever passes through this space in the early morning, so I have it to myself. It's 7 floors to the top, which I run 4 or 5 times, taking pains to tread lightly. My goal is 40 seconds for each ascent. Here goes. To become a citizen of Israel, one makes Aliyah, which means to go up. So it seems fitting that I, an OLEH HADASH, a newcomer, am climbing steps in my final segment of this web series. 37 seconds. That's a personal record. Following Jewish tradition as a sign of deep mourning, I haven't shaved since we buried Dad. This is the 30th day, Shloshim in Hebrew, since the funeral. So I will now rise from my most intense month of mourning to take some time with my appearance. I thought I'd leave a goatee, but now I'm not so sure. In the eyes of American and Israeli society, my best days are behind me. That's what they've been telling Joe, Bernie, and Elizabeth, right? But I digress. As for me, while I may be collecting Social Security and a pension from my teaching career, I haven't come to Israel to retire. I want to work part-time and contribute to my new country as a volunteer. So the white beard is coming off for a fresh start. Now what? The mustache isn't white, but it makes me look like John Bolton, the former U.S. National Security Advisor. A real tough guy with his cowboy mustache. He won't man up enough to testify before Congress about his Trump days. Bye-bye, John. I'm keeping the soul patch. So, I've risen as a new citizen of Israel, which makes me feel privileged. The administrative process took maybe 6 months, and upon my arrival, I qualified for universal health care and a half-year's government stipend without having paid a dime into the system. Meanwhile, there are refugees from Eritrea and Sudan who have been in Israel for years and will never earn citizenship. So it is not a perfect world for all here in the Promised Land, and I'm not discussing Palestinians because that's the subject for another web series entirely. That said, as a member of the tribe that was enslaved by the Egyptians during biblical times, persecuted by the Romans in ancient times, the English, the French, the Spanish during the Middle Ages, and the Russians, Poles, and Germans in modern times, and that's not a complete list, my current privilege has come at a great cost. I still love the United States, and I miss my family and friends there. But with the killing of Jews on the rise in Trump's America, well, I'm wondering about the future of my birthplace. But that too is the topic for another web series. If you followed this one, liked, commented upon, shared previous episodes, and subscribed to my YouTube channel, thank you. Now that I've risen to become an Israeli citizen, I am moving on. Or as we say back in Wisconsin, forward.